friend and colleague Charanpreet will talk about the drive just after me. But before that, so looking back 10 years, just look forward to the 10 years. What is tomorrow's technology that's coming today? And that, my friends, is the metaverse. Good afternoon again. My name is Prithvish Mukherjee, and I'm a director in Praxis Business School, but I'm more of a metaverse evangelist. I've been dabbling with the metaverse for the last 10 years. Honestly, I'm not joking. So let us see what it looks like. So the word metaverse exploded into our lexicon through two people. One is Mark Zuckerberg, and the other is Satya Nadella. Microsoft Zuckerberg kicked off the ball, saying that Facebook will become the metaverse, and Mr. Nadella came along and said, we'll also be there. But what is the metaverse? Where is the metaverse? That is what we're going to explore today, very, very briefly. So the metaverse is a shared public space where multiple people can have social engagements with commercial interaction, okay, in a digital environment. So look at the words public, social, commercial, and digital. These add up to the metaverse. Now, the metaverse has been around since quite some time. It came with a novel called Snow Crash, when it was first talked about in the 1990s. In the early 2000s, there was a Second Life, Linden Lab, where I've been there, I've used it. That's how I got introduced to the metaverse. So that was 2005. The sudden excitement today is because of two new technologies. Not very new, but talked about. That is the Microsoft Hololens and the Facebook Oculus. These are the hot things. And looking forward, we are looking at what is known as mind-controlled devices. Okay, that's not science fiction. It's actually happening. Let's talk about it. What is a shared social space? We're all familiar with Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. That is a shared social space. There's no point in adding anything more to it. All of you know it very well. What is commercial space? Not shared. Flipkart, Amazon. We all go and buy things there. So if you put the two things together, you get that shared space. Is that the metaverse? We are approaching it. Not quite. There are two more components which are required to make the metaverse come alive. One is the concept of three-dimensionality, the sense of immersiveness. We are used to a screen on where we see things moving around. No, we want the 3D effect. That's number one. And number two is crypto assets or cryptocurrency, which you would have heard with the name Bitcoin, which of course many governments are trying to ban, but it is fundamental to the economy of the metaverse. Okay, so crypto and 3D are the new things which are happening today. So let's take a look. This is one of the metaverse that you can visit right now, today. Place called Decentraland. Okay? Just go ahead and type decentraland.org, it will be there. You can log in as a guest. But if you have to log in really, you have to use an Ethereum crypto wallet. That's the crux of the matter. Your Ethereum wallet is your commercial identity in the metaverse. Like Facebook, you can just go in and say, I'm so and so. You can change your name. In Decentraland, you can change your name. Doesn't matter. You're tied to your Ethereum wallet. That is one of the fundamental things, is that without the connection, your login is through your wallet, not through your random ID and password. So that's very important. And you can see that I am logged in as Calcutta out here, and I have a wallet. Without this, I cannot log in, and this is going to be a very important thing. But you would say, how is it different from a game? We have all played computer games before. I mean, PUBG and this and that, and all kinds of things I've played. So what is different out here? Three things. First is the concept of ownership of digital assets. Ownership. It's not like I take an image, you're taking all photographs, but you can take a photograph, you can make a copy and somebody else. It's not ownership. You can go and fight in the courts, but you can't, I can easily copy an image file, a PNG file, or a MP3 file. I can copy it. Not so in the metaverse. With crypto, you can't. Just like, I can't sell, you can't take away my house or my car. It is registered to my name through a mechanism. Similarly, crypto ensures that. Ownership of digital assets, number one. Number two is extremely immersive experience. Immersive experience. It's like being immersed in the 3D world. That's number two. And the third thing is the storage and transfer of commercial value. Which means I have an artifact, give it to you, you have to give something in return. It's a give and take. So it mimics the real world much more elegantly than what we normally do. That is why the feeling is very realistic. It's as if you are inside somewhere else. And that is what is the main things out here. The asset management of digital and crypto, and the ability to exchange assets. You've only heard of one asset called Bitcoin, and you know how expensive it is, but there are many other assets available. Non-fungible tokens, and of course many things are happening. This is going to drive the economy of the metaverse, and that is why Mark Zuckerberg is salivating over it. He thinks a huge economy waiting to be tapped. How to get into it? He has his ways, others have their other ways. So this is it. And here comes the next trick in the box. The two things which Microsoft and Zuckerberg has brought to the table. The immersiveness. And unfortunately, I cannot show you this immersiveness because we are in the physical world. To help so, I'm going to start a video. Can we have the video, please? Icons of a human being inside the digital called avatar. It's based on the Hindu word avatar. Exactly from there. So these avatars are playing around and of course making business, transacting business, and making Zuckerberg even more richer. The third thing is mind control or thought control. This is incredible. You see, there are many people, we have a madam out here with certain impairments, but there are other people who are even more impaired. Okay? And these wheelchairs are now available. This is not science fiction, it's 2010 by the way. Okay? Where with electrodes in your head, you can control the wheelchair without a physical hand or leg movement. Now this is rooted in a science fiction called Firefox, which I read during my college days, a thought-controlled aircraft. That has now become thought-controlled wheelchairs. Because for paraplegics, who can only have control over the neck, everything else is paralyzed, they can use this. Okay? This is available today. But we are going even more. Today we are having devices which allow you to play games. Now you see that the decentralized kind of game can be played with this thought-controlled devices. These are consumer devices. These are not ISRO or NASA devices. Very simple devices. Put on your head, that works. And you can control the game, shoot, this, that, all of those things. Then from head to hand. We think all our knowledge is in the head. Not really. In the wrist, we have maximum information. That's how we do things. If I want to type, the information is here. So it's far easier to put up a smart wristband on your head on your hand, and from there you can track what is happening in my mind. So the mind controls your wrist, and the device picks up from the wrist. And then, of course, you have the famous Neuralink, which for it grows hairs on your head. People like me, very little hair. Okay, so Tesla has said you can implant hairs in your head, and these hairs are not normal hairs; they're actually electrodes. They can sample my thoughts and will make them work. So you see, this is what's going to happen next with thought-controlled devices. Metaverse is going to be the new reality. So as we said, the metaverse is today we have it, the virtual reality and then the controlled mind. So this is, friends, a look at what will be happening.
Welcome to this wonderful occasion when we are celebrating 10 years of data science. And one of the reasons we are celebrating is that we were, as was mentioned earlier, the first educational institution to start a formal formal education program in data science, because we felt at that point in time, the person you just heard, Dr. Pritish Mukherjee, you would have guessed he's like a thought leader. He's always at the edge of what's happening in technology, and with his help, we kind of designed that program and ran it. So I just quickly take you through this, what has happened over the last 10 years, and let's see, and the kind of, So, before we talk about the 10 years, when, we learned that when you're starting an institution or even working for an institution, one of the things we need to find out is why do we exist? I think, and then so what is our purpose? And then what do we do? How do we kind of execute that purpose? And then finally, what do we do on the ground? So very quickly, for Praxis, we truly believe that we can create high quality professionals who can become a part of an effective workforce for this digital world. So this is our belief, and this is why we exist, and this is why we want to exist for over the next 10 years or 20 years also. Right? Now, why do we think that we are capable of doing that, and how are we going to do that? Any learning needs a supportive ecosystem. Okay? And there are several components of that ecosystem. For me, one of the most important things in that ecosystem is the freedom to learn. Yeah. So we create an ecosystem which enables learning, right? Which makes our students stakeholders in that learning. And how we do it, we have a combination of, so there are three things that are there in learning. One is your curriculum, what do you teach? The second is your delivery, how do you teach? And the third is assessment. How do you assess your students? How do you know that they are progressing, that what we are teaching is making a difference? So if we have the right combination of these three, we create an effective learning system. So that's the how. And the last part, what do we really do? First of all, we have been lucky enough to find and retain a team of really accomplished faculty members who are running this program. And to support them, we have an equally excellent team, a non-academic team which handles our infrastructure, both physical and digital, that runs our programs, that gets the students that we want, that gets them career opportunities that they seek. So this is what we do on the ground. We keep these people with us in the team, we work together, and we drive digital in everything we teach. So when COVID happened, I know a lot of educational institutions went through a lot of difficulty and all that, because suddenly physical teaching and physical classrooms came to a kind of an end. Luckily, because we were so digitally equipped, we made that transition overnight. And practically the next day we were online, our students were online. Yeah. So, and when we say we drive digital and everything, we are a business school. So we teach finance, we teach management, we teach, HR. Even in these subjects, we have a strong digital component, because today if you are in marketing, if you have to become a successful marketing professional, you need to be accomplished in digital marketing. If you want to be part of finance, I think Pritish already talked about cryptocurrency. So if you are not equipped with the knowledge of fintech, I think in future to be an effective finance professional, you need to have that knowledge. So we try to ensure that irrespective of the function, irrespective of the course that the student is wants to learn, we drive digital in that, because we believe that's the future. And finally, after starting the data science program, we've launched 2 more programs, one in cybersecurity, the other in data engineering, because we believe that we have to keep pace with the way the world is changing, and we need to create professionals for this very dynamic digital world. So we actually have now figured out a way of kind of identifying what needs to be taught and quickly turning them around into programs and bringing them to the students. So the journey, I mean, we are very fond of it, so I'll just share it for about 2-3 minutes. We started in 2007. We had an initial academic collaboration with XLRI Jamshedpur, which is one of the top business schools in Calcutta. So this is how our campus looked. Those 3 people are our first batch students, all doing very well. And this is what we look like now. So it looks a much better equipped campus than it is. It's in the it's very lush. It's on Bakrahat Road, close to Joka. In 2011, we started our first full-time program in business analytics. And in 2011, we were just a 4-year-old educational institution. In terms of educational institutions, we were a baby. And at that point in time, ICICI Bank endorsed our dean's chair. They gave us a grant because they felt that we were doing good things, and they wanted to support us. And they continued this relationship for 6 long years. Right? So 2011, in that sense, this was a great honor. And in that sense, 2011 is like a milestone year in our journey. And this is, I remember we had this panel discussion on the 6th of August in 2011. And we have a gentleman from ICICI Bank, the head of their analytics program, Yo, in that discussion. And on November 8th, we had started our program. And then in 2016, we realized that if you have to be part of the data science community, you have to be in Bangalore, because that's where most of the work gets done. It's an epicenter of data science activity. So we started a Bangalore center, and so this is one of the classrooms in our Bangalore center. And then in 2016, in January, we started our second batch. Previously, we used to have only a July batch. We started 2 batches of data science in 2016. In 2018, we renamed the business analytics program to data science for 2 reasons. One is, the curriculum had changed so much that it had kind of traveled the journey from business analytics to data science. And secondly, I think the buzzword also had become data science. So we wanted to be with that, and we changed the name. And in 2019, we started a full-time program in cybersecurity, which is run out of Sector 5. And in 2021, this July, we launched another program in data engineering. So this has been, our academic journey. So these are the 4 programs we run. If you can see all those logos, we partner industry, because the industry, I think both can learn from each other. We help the industry with trained resources. The industry helps us with what's happening in the real world.